Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be showing, as requested, how I do my first step of decorating my cookies. The alcohol inks, these are my bottle of alcohol inks. I learned them from Angela from the Painted Box. She did a tutorial on Periscope quite a while ago, and I've already made mine. I'm pretty sure she might have a YouTube video on how she does it. But basically what she does is takes 4 ounces of Everclear and puts them in a mason jar, and I put in a good squeeze, maybe like an ounce of food color, and let it sit for about 2 days. And then I pour it through a coffee filter in a goodness, what is that thing called? A funnel. I put a coffee filter inside a funnel, and then I pour the contents of the mason jar into these jars. These are 4-ounce bottles, and I know she uses the same kind of bottles, but she went with clear. I have a thing for cobalt blue, so the color has nothing to do with the alcohol inks. I just prefer this color. I know they also come in an amber glass, but blue, that's my favorite. So then because I use blue, I have to label them so that I know what's inside. And you'll notice I have a red and a pink, but I actually tried the first time to make red, and it was so light it just kept coming out pink. So what I did is the next time I made a red, I used the same thing, Americolor Super Red, and I added much more of it. That's James in the background. You hear screaming. He's eating and he's enjoying it apparently. I used a good bit of red Americolor or Super Red Americolor plus a little tiny bit of black to make it dark. And actually, I've been having to add more and more alcohol to it because it became so dark that when I squeeze it onto a cookie, it almost looked like blood. And that was not the effect I was going for. So anyways, I've already frosted my cookie with the Franken frosting and let it, is that a meth lab? Yeah, right. I already let them dry overnight. I don't know how many of you I've already mentioned to that I'm a police dispatcher, so it was really slow during the first part of my shift, and I actually did these at work last night, which is why this is a paper towel instead of a sheet like this, parchment sheet, because I didn't have parchment sheets with me. So I'm going to put this up so that you guys can see. I won't be able to see any more questions for a little bit, so hang on till the end and I will ask questions at the end. So here we go. I think that's good. So this is how I do the cookies at the beginning when I put the color down. I think I'll go with pink, blue, and purple today. And I also have, this is a stir stick, but the kind that looks like a straw. And what I'll do is, I should start with my lightest color first, so the pink. And I know Angela uses paintbrushes, but I haven't quite got the hang of paintbrushes, so I just started dripping it on here. Because if you Google alcohol inks on YouTube, a lot of the alcohol inks, this is real similar. And they drop it on, and you can see how it's beginning to make kind of a really cool pattern. But if it's not doing what I want, then I blow on it and make kind of a different pattern. So you can see how it acts just like alcohol ink on gesso. So I'm gonna lay, okay, Bella. Bella's on the wrong side of the baby gate, so she's mad that she's not with the kids. So kind of let that dry a little bit. Sometimes if you put them on when they're both really too wet, they kind of blend together and you get kind of a funky look. So you can see how they're blending together. Now a little purple. Okay. So really, that is absolutely it. Then I will set it down and let it dry. And I can do another one. And I will go with, let's see, green, yellow, and blue this time. Start with the lightest one. Good Lord, I hope you guys cannot hear my kids fighting in the background over leftover food. So there's the yellow, and I'm just going to let it go on its own. I'm going to probably let this dry a little, because if I don't, when I add the blue, I'm going to end up with all kinds of green. But another thing I like to do is just solid color, so I'll do that one with this one here. So just start flooding the cookie with color. And you can see from blowing around the ink, you get kind of like a really cool watercolor look. Oops, sorry about that. So I think this one will look kind of cool. I think I'll do another solid colored one. And even after they're completely dry, if they've been dry for a couple of hours, you can still go back and put more color on them and get, you know, a different kind of effect. But I really have enjoyed playing with these alcohol inks. And again, Angela mentioned that she uses Everclear, and I could get Everclear, but I ended up getting Spiritus, which is a Polish alcohol, which actually had more alcohol in it than Everclear, so I figured it might dry a little faster, and it was cheaper. So I will leave that one alone. Go back to this yellow one. Let's throw some green on here. Yeah, it almost kind of looks like a Rorschach ink blot test. And sometimes when I add blue, it ends up turning green after a bit, but because I let it dry a little more this time, I think I'll be okay. So I'll leave that one, and I think I'll do a solid, I'm going to do a solid orange one. Orange is my favorite color. Hi, Jimmy. And I like how when you blow on it, you get kind of these rings from it spreading out. But you also get those rings from, if you drop it and let it go, you can see right here where it's beginning to spread out on its own. Kind of gives it a marbled watercolor effect, and I think that's pretty cool. And see, you can see the blue one now that it's dried. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but that really cool variegated pattern that it gets, I think will make a really nice background for my dot cookies that I like to do. I'll leave that orange one alone for now. And I think I will go with an orange, red, and yellow for my last cookie. And now I'll use the red really quick so you can see. Hopefully I've diluted it enough that it's not going to be super bloody red. Oh yeah, this is much better than what I had before. Before, it seriously looked like a big bloody clot dropping on my cookie. It was not attractive. Yeah, I like the way this turned out much better. And you can see when you add, even like I had added the yellow, it started pushing the red around, and then the orange is going to come in and push back, so you get kind of a neat effect. I started watching Alcohol Ink videos on YouTube, and that's what really got me interested in this. Alrighty, I think that's what I'm going to leave it at. So if you guys have any questions, I can see the screen now. Feel free to ask now. And if no questions, I will go ahead and let these dry, and then hopefully either later tonight or sometime tomorrow I can do a video with the doing the dots. The liquor that I use is called Spiritus. It's Polish. If you go to a liquor store, they'll be able to tell you what it is. You can ask them for the Polish liquor that's like Everclear. So, anybody else have any questions? Alrighty folks, well thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll come back later when I do the second part of my cookie decorating. Thanks people, bye!